is the Celebrity Afterlife Report podcast.
Hi, and welcome once again to the Celebrity Afterlife Report, a weekly roundup of all the latest gossip about your favorite deceased celebrities. I'm your host, the Celebrity Medium. Let's get this show on the road. Regular listeners to the report know the ongoing story about John Wayne, who was, of course, one of the biggest movie stars during his time on the earthly plane. The Duke decided some time back that he wanted to produce, direct, and star in a remake of the original Terminator movie. And this plan has been a running joke in some Next World circles, as many think that Wayne is completely unsuited to play the character made famous by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, despite the giggles behind his back, Wayne has continued to pursue the project, approaching virtually every major celebrity as soon as they arrive in the afterlife about being in the movie. Wayne's newest potential recruit is Richard Kiel. Now, while you may not recognize Kiel's name, you almost certainly would recognize his face. Richard Kiel was the literal giant of a man standing over 7 feet tall, who played the villain Jaws in 2 James Bond movies, as well as having smaller parts in other films. As soon as Kiel arrived in the next world, after the obligatory welcome from James Brown, unofficial greeting to the stars, he was approached by Wayne. According to my sources, Wayne's first words after introducing himself were, "You're a big one, aren't you?" The Duke launched into a pitch about Kiel being in the Terminator reboot. Sources tell me that Kiel laughed and seemed intrigued about the project and being part of it. I'm informed that the two made a handshake deal on the spot and left the greeting area together, presumably to discuss what role Kiel would have in the movie privately. Now, I have to say, the more I hear about this crazy project, the more I want to see the final outcome, although I'd really rather not have to be in the afterlife for that, all things considered. A source who happened to be in the diner where Wayne and Kiel went to hash out the details of their agreement approached the giant and asked him if he had any immediate plans. Kiel reported that he always wanted to play Santa Claus and asked the source if he knew where he might do that, which I think gives me an idea for Kiel's next movie, Attack of the Giant Santa. Several months ago, I told you about how Andy Griffith had to reluctantly tell a newly buffed up Don Knotts that he wouldn't be able to use him as Barney Fife in a revival of his old sitcom. Apparently, it hadn't occurred to Knotts that his new physique wouldn't fit the scrawny Mayberry character that made him famous in the 1960s. Well, his acting days may be over, but Don has found an occupation more suited to his new look. According to Next World media sources, Knotts has signed up with the Afterlife Fighting Championship promotion to be a mixed martial artist. Reports say that he will be in the bantamweight division and describe his style as, quote, a street brawler, unquote. Hard to imagine, I know, but those who have seen his training fights say that Knotts is a force to be reckoned with. His nom de ring will be the Mayberry Mauler. His professional in-ring debut is scheduled for a few weeks from now, and you know we will be reporting on the outcome as soon as we hear about it. A while back, I told you about the feud between former CBS anchorman and current publisher of the Next World newspaper, The Bugle, Walter Cronkite, and painter Pablo Picasso. According to sources, Uncle Walter took exception to Pablo's advocacy for the return of bullfighting in the afterlife, and he wrote a scathing editorial criticizing Picasso and anyone who defends what Cronkite sees as animal cruelty. Picasso asked for, and got, the opportunity to reply via a guest editorial in The Bugle. In it, he described Cronkite, as, quote, not a real man, unquote, and implied in so many words that the newsman might be gay. Cronkite decided to take the high road and let the insults go unanswered. Picasso, however, was not content to let things end there. According to my sources, there are rumors that the artist is working on an epic-scale mural unflattering to Cronkite. The sources tell me that he's working on it inside a very large warehouse-type building with heavy security, and that no one is allowed inside. At this point, this is all strictly rumor, except for the fact that Picasso is definitely working on a painting of some type in secrecy. Whether or not it is actually about or unflattering to Walter Cronkite remains to be seen. Lastly this week, Wizard of Oz star and legendary singer Judy Garland is rumored to be at her wit's end. As previously reported, after several earthly plane marriages that ended in divorce, Ms. Garland has soured on the male of the species. She is currently trying to construct a female-only community on the outskirts of one of the next world's larger cities. Her efforts, however, have been frustrated by an unwillingness of male construction workers to help her build her girls-only dream town. Garland has been trying to put together a workforce of women with talents in the construction trade, but has come up short so far. Adding to her woes, Sonny Bono of Sonny and Cher fame has rescinded his offer to construct one of the White Castle restaurants he plans on blanketing the Afterlife with in Garland's town if it ever is constructed. Bono was quoted in the press as saying that when he made the agreement with Judy, he didn't realize that her proposed community would discriminate against males. Okay, gang, that is it for the report for this week. Please come back next week where we'll have another roundup of all the latest gossip about your favorite deceased celebrities. I am the Celebrity Medium. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the Celebrity Afterlife Report podcast. To ask a question about your favorite deceased celebrity, call 818-3-MY-DREAM. 818-3-MY-DREAM. 818-369-3732.